2020X 年。男は本当に退屈しました。彼は退屈を直すための答えを探します。彼が諦め時に答えを見つけました。一人の男対2199のスーパーファミコンゲーム。これはその男の物語だ。Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video. It's Cream1337 here with the SNES vs Cream Challenge. Last time, we played Primal Rage, Cuber, and The Great Battle 5. Those games were lots of fun, but we weren't able to beat them, unfortunately. But no matter, it is time for the next 3 games on our list. Pink Panther in Pink Goes to Hollywood is a platformer and was released onto the world on November of 1993. Developed by Head Games Inc. and distributed by Tech Magic and Altron. This game is based off the 1969 cartoon of the same name. I know of the Pink Panther, but I've never really watched the TV show. I did watch the live action movie that came out in 2006 while on an airplane, and I wasn't much of a fan. The game starts with an overworld named after the movie Honey, I Shrunk the Kids called Honey, I Shrunk the Pink. Each stage has a movie pun name. I guess the cool thing about this game is that you can choose which level you can go to via the overworld. On the other hand, there are no checkpoints to the game, so when you lose a life, you must start from the beginning. As you can imagine, this grew very tiresome very quickly. Each stage has a little toolbox that allows you to take a different path on the stage for the price of 1 coin. This would be cool if I could navigate the damn stage. Look at this right here. Even though I hesitated a little, a running start was not enough to get me past the first jump of the stage. After 23 failed attempts, I debated on calling it quits there, but after some soul searching, I decided to keep going. After failing some more, I decided to change the scenery and went from a city to a jungle. The stage is titled Jungle Pink, and I honestly think that sounds very, very naughty. I gave it a couple more shots, but it became clear to me that I was not beating this game. I really enjoyed the overall look of the game. It was very cartoony and it fit the mold it was trying to fit into. That's about it though. This game brings absolutely nothing to the table, and I'd rather play Killer Instinct than this. Pink Goes to Hollywood on the Super Nintendo got mostly negative reviews. Computer and Video Games Magazine gave it a 69 out of 100, saying in part, it's easy to progress through because the baddies are always in the same place and lack any sort of intelligence, which is unforgivable. The only saving grace for Pink Goes to Hollywood is that it's actually quite a funny game, but gamers can't live by humorous platformers alone. Electronic Gaming Monthly stated that you may be better off with the Genesis version on this one because the Super Nintendo counterpart suffers from the stiff control and unappealing levels, which was not a good look for Nintendo at the time. I'm gonna give Pink Panther and Pink Goes to Hollywood 0 Zelda tokens out of 5. This game is dull at best and loses its charm early on. If this game had a story or something, it could have been a little bit more enjoyable. The Ignition Factor is a firefighting sim released in the US in January of 1995. It was developed and published by Jaleco. I never played this game as a kid, but I played it on the Wii Virtual Console back in the day. Out of all the emergency services, I didn't think they made video games for firefighting. Hooray for representation! When you first hear the title, The Ignition Factor, you'd figured it's a racing game or something. But no matter, I'm gonna give it my best shot. The game starts off with your choice of 2 stages, a steel mill and the Pygmalion Productions business building. Once you pick, you'll get a briefing on the situation at hand. Before you head out to the field, you get to pick your choice of extinguishers and tools such as axes, ropes, and oxygen masks. I went with the classic fire extinguisher and axe. I make my way into the burning steel mill to try and save 5 civilians. The fireman character himself moves really slow. I'm not complaining as firefighters have a lot of equipment to carry. As time goes on in the game, the more the building is consumed by the fire. You walk around, you extinguish flames, you save people. Pretty straightforward stuff. Despite the fact I'm in a burning building, I'm enjoying the ambiance of the game. I actually feel like I'm in a burning building. I managed to save 3 people before mysteriously jumping into a pool of molten steel. Very nice. I decide to skip the steel mill and decide to try my hand at saving the trapped workers in the business building. I save a person relatively quickly before being told that I have to make sure to not confuse actual people and mannequins. I'm pretty sure I can tell a person apart from a mannequin, but okay, Fire Chief, I'll play along. I ran to the upper floor and saw a man cowering in fear. I went to save him, but we both plunged to our death. I don't know if that was a mannequin or not, but this stinks. Maybe I could have used the ropes to drag him over? Who knows? I make my way back into the building to try again when I ran into a lady in a purple dress who just can't leave this building without Anne. I get that's your homie, but the building is on fire. Maybe she heard about how this firefighter jumped into molten steel. I ran into another lady in a purple dress. I thought this was Anne, but it was a lady who was separated from her husband. Instead of staying in this room, however, she accepted rescue and gave me a first aid kit. 6 minutes in, I managed to save Anne, which now means I can save the first lady in the purple dress, who we find out is named Nancy. I tried to jump across a massive hole to get to the side she was on, but I fell. It looked like I could clear that jump, but whatever. I tried to save the people in the steel mill one last time, but that ended very, very horribly. If that wasn't enough, the fire chief has some choice words for me. Reviews were mostly positive, but the common theme was that you're going to want to rent this game instead of buying it. I can't blame them there, as the ignition factor would have cost you $92.15 back in 1995. Electronic Gaming Monthly gave the game 82 out of 100, reasoning that the missions are cool and offer good variety, but after only a few sittings, the game isn't difficult to beat. Ignition Factor looks and plays like Jaleco's Operation Logic Bomb. If you enjoyed that game, you enjoy this one too. GamePro gave this game 70 out of 100, stating, overall, the Ignition Factor is a relatively fun strategy game. It may not be a burning sensation, but it's a rental with definite potential. I agree this game offers something really different in comparison of what was coming out. It's a cool game, but I wish it didn't throw me into the fire. Get it? Because we're firefighters? You know, they fight fire?
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I'm gonna give Ignition Factor 3 Zelda tokens out of 5. Undake 30 Same Game Daisakusen Mario version is a puzzle, solitaire, patient game developed by Hudson Soft and published by Nintendo and was distributed between January 16, 1995 and February 20th of the same year. Like Super Mario 3D All-Stars on the Switch, this game also saw a limited release. It was released as a promotional game for stores for Nintendo branded tournaments. According to this article from a Japanese magazine, there was a tournament where players would send in their high scores, and the top 200 players would win a Nintendo 64. Guessing by the score I would get at the end, I don't think I would be winning one of those Nintendo 64s. Now, this game was a big part of Japan's Satellite View SNES attachment. Wait. You don't know what Satellite View is? The Satellite View was an SNES attachment that allowed you to download magazines, pics, news, and games through a satellite that you had to either rent for 6 months at a time or buy at a specific store. This kind of looks like the blueprint for the Wii and the Wii Shop. It was made by ST Giga, who were famous for their nature sound music. I listened to some of it, and let me tell you, it was very relaxing. If you like the sounds of the ocean, whether it be to study to or sleep to, this would be a solid addition to your playlist. Now, I've played solitaire before. I mean, who hasn't? We've all been bored in a computer lab before. But I've never played Monte Carlo, which is a variant of solitaire. In Monte Carlo, you lay out 25 cards in a 5x5 grid, and the objective is to match up the cards in pairs. You see, when I jumped into this game, I didn't know any of that. I just saw all the Mario symbols and started matching them on my own. Another cool tidbit was that despite this game being released in Japan, it was fully in English, so I can't hide behind the language barrier. Now, I'm not the best at puzzle games, so it took me a bit to understand what was going on. I got better with each attempt, but I was never able to clear the entire board. My final score was a whopping 301 points. I don't think they'll be sending me a Nintendo 64. There are no reviews for this game. Seeing as it was only for promotional use, I can see why there were no reviews. I'm gonna give this game 2 Zelda tokens out of 5. 1 Zelda token for the gameplay, and another Zelda token for the possibility of winning a Nintendo 64. Thanks you guys for watching this video. It really means a lot to me that you're joining me on this journey. Feel free to hit that like button, that subscribe button, and don't forget to share it to your friends. If you want to catch this challenge live, I stream it over on Twitch. The link will be below in the description. This has been Cream1337 signing off.